Today I fucked up while talking dirty to my GF. Throwaway for obvious reasons. So a little background, my current GF and I have been together for about 2 months and things have been going great. Before her I was a virgin, she's slept with a couple guys, not a big deal, blah blah blah. Obviously because the relationship is pretty new, we're still learning about what the other likes sexually, and I'm learning everything for the first time. Long story short, it came up that she likes dirty talk during sex. I said I was down to give it a shot, but deep down inside I knew that I had no idea what I would be doing and would kind of be winging it. Last weekend we went out for drinks, hormones started flying, and we decided it was time to wrap the night up, so we went back to her place. So we're getting it on, drunkenly fumbling and slobbering, but we're wasted so it's fine. She's telling me about how wet she is and all the things she wants me to do to her, all the nasty stuff. She kind of rambled for a bit, and I was feeling a bit of pressure to chime in, because surely she'd run out of material soon. The rum is swooshing through my veins at this point, making me feel much more comfortable than I normally do. This is all new territory for me, but I'm feeling adventurous tonight, a bit like Christopher Columbus, and she's what I think is India. So I decide to talk dirty. Her monologue was cycling back to her being wet, and like a hungry cheetah, I figure this is the perfect time to strike. And that's when I cleverly decided to ask if I make her moister than an oyster. Her face fell. It's hard to describe the mixture of despair and drunken hopelessness that spilled across her face. I went from being a cunning cheetah pouncing on a wounded antelope, to being a cheetah that tried pouncing but tripped over a log and broke its neck in the process. I've been wondering how I could have fucked up such an easy moment, but nothing can explain it. We approach this next weekend, and we've talked twice since then. I don't think I'll be redeeming myself anytime soon. Too long didn't read. I decided to be sexy and asked my GF if I made her moister than an oyster. She doesn't think oysters are sexy. I feel you up. Called my ex a sexy piece of shit. Yeah, you like that, you fucking retard. Should have gone in with the in-between-us approach. I'm gonna fuck your fucking fanny off, you twat. For both of your sakes, I hope she isn't seriously miffed about that one little line. Things can be a bit awkward when you're a beginner or with a new partner, and some humor can help to smooth things over. Plus, the joke is pure gold. If some guy had told me this, I am not sure I would have been able to continue. Because I'd be laughing too hard. My ex one time, in the middle of doing the deed, looked at me and went, "You know, I want to move to Milwaukee and open a radio factory." Know what I'd call them? Milwaukee Talkies. It was ridiculous and ill-timed. He had a way of just spacing out sometimes and coming out with weird comments like that, but it struck me as so hilarious at the same time. Moister than an oyster is seriously gold. I hope she wasn't too upset with it. If you can't laugh before, during, or after sex, you need help. Edit, holy balls, Reddit gold for a comment about a cheesy joke during sex with an ex. Great. One of my highest upvoted comments, and it's about a dorky joke. You guys are awesome. Heart. Probably shouldn't tell her you want to slam her clam either. Edit, thanks for the silver, kind stranger. The next time I suck down an oyster I'll think of you. Edit 2, holy gold. Next time I crack a clam I'll think of you. Oh man. I am saving that one for the wife. Shield I laughing so hard Lamau. Awesome man. Today I fucked up by making fun of anti-vaxxers at my new job in front of my pregnant and, apparently, anti-vaxxer manager. So I just started in this company a few weeks back. I'm your typical shy person that in the first few weeks doesn't say much and really needs some time to get comfortable with the new situation and new people. Starting this job it was no different. Now, a few weeks later I'm starting to feel comfortable around everyone and also starting to make jokes and joining non-work related discussions between co-workers. Somehow we landed on the topic of old diseases that nowadays barely occur. My manager named a few and I said that the ones she mentioned actually still exist in other less developed parts of the world. Then I jokingly said, and nowadays you don't know, with the rise of brain-dead anti-vax moms we might be again introduced to all kinds of weird and ancient diseases. My co-workers all cracked a laugh, but the look on my manager's face said it all, and there was instant regret from my side. She raised her voice and started firing questions, asking anti-vax moms are brain dead, rambling about the vaccines being the cause of autism, and the pharma industry is trying to control the mind and body of her coming baby. It was one blasting tirade about how she is woke and shit. I guess the coming year will be one really interesting one for me. TL doctor joked about anti-vax moms in front of my manager, who is pregnant, and apparently supports the anti-vax movement. Tension on the workplace ever since have been, so to call, quite high. Look on the bright side. Since you're vaccinated, you can blame the joke on your autism. And if she tries to fire you, you can claim discrimination since she so firmly believes that vaccination causes autism. Edit, thanks for the gold. A doctor, a nurse, and your manager all walk into a bar. The doctor sits first and orders a shot of Jack Daniels. The nurse sits second and orders a shot of Jose Cuervo. Your manager sits last and says, "I'm sorry, but I don't do shots," then falls to the floor dead from polio. I am sorry for making fun of your medically disproven beliefs and conspiracies. Good thing you were around other co-workers, that way you have some backup if she tries to fire you. I wouldn't bring it up around her at all, but if she tears into you about it, stay calm, give educated answers, or ignore it. Good luck. Edit, fix typo. In my experience, HR makes final call on firings. If they already have this person trained, it's idiotic to fire someone because the manager has a personal vendetta, because that's a lot of money spent on training down the toilet. I understand that IT still happens, but it is very fucked up that they can. This company I work for has a pretty extensive set of guidelines for how/why someone is getting terminated. To get fired on the spot, you have to commit huge safety violations. You could come into work drunk, and they will give you the choice of seeking treatment or losing your job. I'm sorry, most companies suck, mine isn't perfect, but I really would have to fuck up to lose my job. At least you now know your manager is a moron. Sometimes takes months to find that out. Today I fucked up by cheating on my so, and karma came fast. This actually happened about 10 years ago and we split up because of it. Before I go any further, I want to point out that I am fully aware of how shitty and inexcusable cheating is. I was young and made a mistake that I paid for immediately. This is my story. So one night my roommate invited me, 21 years old at the time, to the beach to see a bunch of people that we knew from high school and hadn't seen since graduation. We had spent all night in the bar drinking and taking shots. Eventually the bar closes, so me, my roommate, and the remaining members of our group decided to grab the coolers from our friend's hotel and head towards the water to finish the night off with a few more beers and listen to the water. The waves seemed to be appearing from a void. This is about the time things took a turn. We had been debating getting in the water, but this is not very smart at night, especially when you don't know the schedule of the tide, plus we were absolutely shit-faced. I was the first one to start heading that way, removing my clothes down to my underwear, when one of the girls we were with sprints past me. I turn around and everyone is naked. I admit that at this point I had not even considered how my girlfriend would have felt about this, and I got naked too. We had been swimming for about 30 minutes when everyone started splitting up. This was during low tide, so you could go quite a ways away from shore and still be waist deep. I had come up to a sandbar with this girl that I had been friends with for years. Neither of us had even realized how far away we had strayed from the group or the shore. This is the moment I cheated. About halfway through the deed I heard my roommate screaming our names at the top of his lungs. We were the only ones left out there and the tide was coming in. We made it only a few feet from the sandbar when I noticed what looked like fireflies in the water. I quickly realized that these were jellyfish and they were everywhere. We both frantically tried to hurry through, but they just kept coming. There were at least 50 to 75 that we could see. Suddenly I felt a sharp sting across the back of both knees. I grabbed my friend by the wrist and started to pull her as I did my best to run, because now shit had gotten serious. I made the one mistake that every beach goer knows better than to do. I decided we needed to get out immediately and climbing the rocks would help. I didn't even get a single foot planted because my toe was immediately sliced open to the bone by a clam. Now I'm naked, pouring blood, and both of us had been stung all over. We started back towards the beach when I was doubled over in pain, shooting through my penis and balls. I thought I had been bitten by something, but it turns out a jellyfish had wrapped around my genitals. I had never been in pain like this before. When we finally got to the beach, we were surrounded by all of our friends who heard us screaming and had called the police because they thought we had come across a shark. It's now almost 5 a.m. and the experience had completely sobered me up. The police were surprisingly cool about the whole situation and one of them offered to walk us back to the hotel. Fast forward to later in the morning when my roommate had driven us home. When we got home, I started evaluating my injuries. I definitely needed stitches, but opted out because I didn't have insurance at the time. My penis looked horrendous, however. I couldn't even believe what this jellyfish had done to it. It was swollen, tender, and was a different shape. I took a handful or ibuprofen and took a shower before passing out for the remainder of the day until the evening when I wake up to my girlfriend crawling in the bed with me. My heart sank. She knew I had gone out the night before, and my roommate informed her of my rough night, excluding the fact that I betrayed her. She was there for maybe a total of 10 minutes before I completely broke down and confessed, but did not tell her about the cut or the jellyfish. She never looked at me, never cried, and left without saying anything. I saw her about 4 years ago in a bar. She approached me and asked if we could talk for a while. She told me that she was never mad at me and that after some time she was just happy I was honest. After the fact, she noted. To which I replied, "Well, I've got something else to tell you about that night that you're going to love." She fucking loved every second of hearing the rest of the events from that night. We laughed pretty hard about it. I paid for her tab and left. We haven't spoken since. Too long didn't read. I cheated on a very good girl and was stung on the dick by a jellyfish immediately after. Damn, that's a story she'll be telling people for years. Talk about a parting gift. Got any crazy exes? Wanna hear about the jellyfish cheater? Damn, your ex-girlfriend must be Poseidon's secret human daughter or something for the sea to get you like that. Pissed him off. So who did you get to pee on your dick? The roommate in the story will bring this up from time to time and say I should have asked him because that's what friends are for. So what you are trying to say is that you cheated on your girlfriend with a jellyfish. The ending is how you know it's not a shitty writer's rom-com pitch idea. The adults talked about it well after the fact with the clarity of hindsight and moved on, rather than engaging in a series of ridiculous events of neither fully hearing what the other was saying, causing unwarranted issues. Also, that op didn't try giving us specific details of the sex act, like half the posts on here.